Tonight, a rare and controversial law is back in the national spotlight. The Insurrection Act, a powerful statute dating back more than 200 years, is trending across America after President Donald Trump warned he may invoke it in response to escalating protests in Minnesota. The statement has sparked intense political debate, legal concerns, and questions about the future of civil unrest in the United States. What triggered this moment? Over the past several days, Minneapolis has seen large-scale protests, some turning violent, following deadly encounters involving federal immigration enforcement agents. Crowds flooded downtown streets, property damage was reported, and local law enforcement struggled to maintain control during nighttime unrest. In response, President Trump publicly warned that if state and local leaders failed to restore order, the federal government could step in, including the use of U.S. military forces under the Insurrection Act. That warning alone was enough to send shockwaves across Washington. What is the Insurrection Act? The Insurrection Act of 1807 allows the President of the United States to deploy active duty military or federalized National Guard troops inside the country. Normally, U.S. law strictly limits military involvement in domestic policing, but the Insurrection Act is the exception, designed for moments when state governments cannot or will not protect constitutional rights. Local authorities are overwhelmed. Widespread violence threatens national stability. Historically, it has been used sparingly. During the Civil War, desegregation conflicts in the 1950s, in the 1992 Los Angeles riots. Political and legal backlash. Democratic leaders and civil rights organizations immediately pushed back. Minnesota officials say they did not request federal military intervention and argue the situation can be handled locally. Groups like the ACLU warn that invoking the Insurrection Act could escalate tensions, blur the line between military and civilian authority, threaten constitutional freedoms, including the right to protest. Legal experts also point out that once invoked, the president has broad discretion and courts historically give limited oversight. Why this matters to America? This debate goes far beyond Minnesota. It raises fundamental questions. When does protest become insurrection? How much power should the president have during domestic crises? And where is the line between law and order and civil liberty? For supporters of the president, the message is simple: restore order at all costs. For critics, this is a dangerous step toward militarizing American streets. As of now, the Insurrection Act has not been formally invoked, but the warning alone has changed the national conversation. Federal officials say all options remain on the table. State leaders insist they are in control, and the nation watches closely, knowing that the next decision could set a historic precedent. The Insurrection Act has always been a last resort, but tonight it's no longer just history, it's a real possibility. Question for viewers: should a U.S. president ever deploy the military against domestic unrest? Or does that cross a line America should never cross?